So last week on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley vacated her Women's Championship belt due to an injury caused by Liv Morgan, and now we have a tournament, I believe, coming up or something of the sort on the next Monday Night Raw to determine who will be the next Women's Champion. Now the list I have in front of me has been determined by the IWC, stuff that WWE has hinted at, and also my personal opinions myself on who I believe will become the next Women's Champion. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below on who you think should be the next Women's Champion. With that being said, let's get into it. First off on the list, we have Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax has proved us almost all wrong by showing that she is very capable in the ring. Whatever she's been working on, whatever she worked on before her return to WWE, she proved us all wrong. She has been an amazing in-ring worker. She's put on some great matches, and honestly, she's not a bad pick for the Women's Championship. Now, is she my first pick? No, I don't believe so, but I don't feel like she's a bad one, and that's probably why she made it on this list. Again, this works because of her character. She is a heel, and her capitalizing off the injury of Rhea Ripley, somebody who she clearly doesn't like, that makes sense in terms of the storyline. On top of that, I feel like whoever would beat Nia Jax, I don't think she's going to hold the title until Rhea Ripley comes back. So whoever would beat Nia Jax for that championship would have some credit, some status to their name, and it could be used to catapult a superstar who needs it. And I can't say the same for this next person. With Becky Lynch, she already lost to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. And I don't think it's good for her character to be capitalizing off of a vacated championship. Even if you were turning her heel, I don't think that's the way to do that. I think the proper way to do that would be in a completely different route than to have her capitalize on a vacated championship because she couldn't get the job done. However, just because of her superstardom and what she's accomplished in the business, she by default belongs on this list. Again, it's not my first pick. It's not my first option. It definitely might be my last option. Not last is the stretch, but it's definitely not one of my first options. And I feel like it would ruin her character if she were to win this championship, if they're still trying to push her as a big babyface. I think Raw needs a babyface right now. And right now, if that's the case, Becky Lynch is your babyface. And it's really hard for you to push the portrayal that this person is supposed to be this really good guy who's always fighting, who's always trying to take down the top person, and you have them win a vacated belt to somebody they lost a couple weeks ago to. Yeah, I just don't see that work. However, somebody else who's here just because of their sheer superstardom alone is Charlotte Flair. Now, Charlotte Flair, I'm not for sure if she's in the blue brand or not, but let's be honest, it doesn't really matter. She can go both ways. Now, Charlotte Flair is here just because of her sheer superstardom alone. However, I don't think that it's a bad decision to put the belt on Charlotte Flair at any time. But in this case, I really would be holding the pull on the trigger. Me personally, I just don't see Charlotte Flair as somebody who should be winning the championship, at least in its current state. I think her megastardom would honestly protect her from winning a vacated belt. And now I don't think that it's a bad decision to put a title on her. However, in this way, I wouldn't be a big fan of it. Even if she is being portrayed as a heel, she's a very arrogant, full of herself, and rightfully so in terms of what she's accomplished in the business, that I feel like she is definitely above a vacant title. And this same logic used in reverse works for this next person in terms of Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is having one of the best heel turns ever, and she's slowly becoming into a superstar of a heel. However, I think you want to wait to put the belt on her. If she was built up a little bit more, and maybe if she was the one who caused this injury, I would definitely be on board with putting Candice LeRae in that vacant championship spot. However, I want to wait on it a little bit because we have to see how she can work in the light. Let's give her some more promos first. Let's build her up first, baby steps. I think throwing her into the main event scene already with a championship with vacancy that she wasn't even responsible for kind of would take away from the build-up that they're giving her. Because I see a lot of people complimenting Candice LeRae on her work right now, but I feel like having her go from 0 to 20 to 30 to 100 is kind of pushing it. I feel like we have to build her up a little bit more and give us some better promo work, some better storytelling. I like the story that they're telling with her and Indy Hart. I think it's great work. I just feel like we have to take baby steps to get there. And speaking of baby steps, let's really take really small, tiny tiptoe baby steps with a Shayna Baszler. Now, I think Shayna Baszler is great inside the ring. I'm a big fan of her in-ring ability and the matches that she can put on. However, I'm not a big fan of her mic work. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like her promos need some work. I feel like her storytelling needs some work. And honestly, her winning off of, I don't know, she's kind of portrayed as a not a tweener. I think she is more on the face side. However, I feel like having her win a vacated belt still does not do anything for her. Again, when you're building up these superstars, it's time to just, slow it down, build them up, and let's make them look like an actual threat for when Rhea Ripley gets back or whatnot. With that being said, Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae are going to do some amazing work in the future. I just think it's a little bit too early to jump the gun with them. Next up, it's a little tricky because we have a possible return on next Monday Night Raw with Alexa Bliss. And I wouldn't be upset if Alexa Bliss was the one to win this vacated title, coming back out of nowhere, perhaps in her supernatural character persona because of the stuff going on with Uncle Howdy. I feel like that right there would be the catalyst to probably build up a feud with her and maybe Liv Morgan or something of that nature. On top of that, Alexa Bliss has already held the championship before. She has the superstardom. It would make sense on why she would win it. I think she's the second best option on this list. However, the best option on this list to win this championship as it's vacated goes to Liv Morgan. Remember, Liv Morgan was injured by Rhea Ripley, and now she comes back injuring Rhea Ripley, ending her title reign on a revenge tour. This is a great story. It adds realism because they both were legitimately injured. I feel like this is a perfect way to catapult a big SummerSlam, if she's back in time for that, a big, dare I say, WrestleMania feud. This is such a good rivalry that could lead into so many different types of stories that flow from it. Again, Triple H likes to play the long game. I can see more people getting involved than just Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. This is a way to honestly I think just in general, this can lead to some really good matches and give Liv Morgan that catapult we've been waiting for. I feel like it's time to figure out if Liv Morgan is really ready for that main event scene, that main event spot, and what better way to do that than to have her win this vacated title that she's the reason for. Again, her and Rhea Ripley have history. They have a story. They've both injured each other. It adds realism. I feel like this is the time right now to see, hey, Liv Morgan, are you ready to hold this mantle? And if she can even just as much float, she'll be proving a lot to not just us, but to the business in general. But with that being said, I believe that's who should win the vacated title. Again, let me know in the comment section on what you think about Liv Morgan winning the championship, or whoever you believe should win the championship. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment down below who you think should win the women's championship. This is Reese Talks Wrestling, where we upload daily wrestling content. I'll be sure to reply to all the comments in the comment section, especially if you're having takes on what we talked about today. This is where we talk about wrestling, enjoy the sport, this form of sports entertainment that we love. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video.